For more on electoral violence and how we can prevent it, Hakeem Odumosu, retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, joins us now. You were at that event. Thank you so much for joining us on News Tonight. You were at that event on that report that should have played earlier. You were actually the guest speaker.
Yes.
And you were speaking on electoral violence and how we can prevent it. We have a former governor of Edo State, Governor Adams Oshiomhole, who has only recently said that governors in Nigeria feel or contribute to electoral violence in Nigeria. Do you agree with him? And how exactly do they contribute? Because in his own, stance or submission, he says the weapons used to disrupt elections, such as the AK-47, which you know very much about as a police officer, are expensive to come by. So they can only be purchased by rich people in society, including governors.
Like politicians.
Well, he has his own reasons and he has information why he has to say that. But the only thing I agree with him is that AK-47 as a weapon is expensive. But that's the same thing that the terrorists use. That's the same thing that the kidnappers use. Will you now say that the governors usually provide that for the kidnappers, for the terrorists in Nigeria states, or political gladiators? But I just believe that. I don't believe that the governors procure this for the electoral violence perpetrators. But I know that it's an expensive weapon. And I know that there are procedures to go through before you can get it into the country legally. So for governors, for him alleging that governors did that, or does, I don't know, because he has been a governor, is that he has his reasons and he has his facts. But I know that, to the best of my knowledge, with the opportunity I have to work with governors in the course of my career, none of my principals had ever ventured into that.
Well, that may sound a bit like politics, but let's leave that. I mean, as a former police commissioner, you were CP in Lagos State and retired, of course, Edo State too, and retired as an AIG. What would you say in your years of monitoring elections and policing elections have been the biggest challenges to effective policing of elections?
The challenges majorly is what I can call insufficient resources for the security officers, security agencies, especially the police, which is the lead security agent in internal security. And police is much involved, more involved than any other agencies now. In fact, all other security agencies now come in to assist police. So the major challenge for the police as an organization is inadequate resources to work. When you talk about manpower, the men are not enough, and that's why other agencies come in. You talk about transportation, so you talk about terrain that are not, the people there are not used to. You place people now from Ogun State to go and conduct election in Taraba State. From Taraba State, go and conduct election now in River State. And without having the geographical knowledge, what we call local knowledge in police balance. So definitely that comes in as a challenge. And not actually giving them what they need now to make those areas, to be familiar with that area in order to discharge their responsibility constitutionally. So that's the major challenge we have in police, effectively policing electoral process or activities.
Well, do you think that the introduction of technology to our electoral system will reduce this level of violence we see with our elections?
Definitely. Definitely. And that is one of the things that we are just taking from the Electoral Act of 2022. Now, one of the major areas of political violence on election day is ballot slashing.
Right.
So when ballots are being slashed, definitely the other party who is winning or the one that is losing will definitely react. Once it reacts now, the credibility of the election will be called into question. What that happen now, it could lead to riot, it could lead to violence, and in most cases, it could degenerate to where it can lead to war. We see so many countries like that. But with electronic transmission of results, it has reduced entirely. Go to the polling center and go and pick a ballot box. It's of no use. As it's being done now, it's being transmitted. It's being uploaded into the server.
Right.
So that will definitely reduce the issue of violence at election venue. See what happened now in Anambra election, Ekiti election, Osun election now. You hardly have election violence at the venue of the election. Either at the polling units now, at the collation center now, because everything is. So you want to go and do something nasty that's against the law now, everybody has the results. So that has reduced drastically. So the issue of electoral violence during voting and collection of results.
And one other thing, I mean, if you look at the case of Ekiti and Osun, there was, I mean, serious issues of vote buying, ballot box snatching too, and all of that. Does this speak to the inadequacy of welfare for the police that will, you know, stand by and allow, you know, certain things just happen? What is the most effective way to deal, you know, with violence and some of the nefarious activities that happen around elections?
Police did not just stand by because of that. If you go through the Electoral Act, unlike other offenses that are being committed on police, a section in the Electoral Act says that the police officer will have to arrest when the electoral officer now points out that this offense is committed by a social person. That limits the authority of the police, unlike outside. But by and large, when offense is being committed, you know, we are talking about electoral offenses. Electoral offenses now differs than robbery. It differs that maybe in an accident or it differs that an arson.
Right.
So that are committed within the electoral environment. It differs. The way those ones are police than the way general one with police outside. So that one limits the authority of the police. That because electorals have to tell the police this is this. Contrary to this has been done at a peak. So that by and large, at the venue, election violence is not just on the election day.
Exactly.
So we start from electoral campaign. We start about not having provocative statements. We start by the media, we start by the civil liberty organizations now who are opinion molders. So to keep on letting people know that violence is aboard. Well, just what I said today, the lecture I delivered. Educating the electoral people, that is the voters, should not start and end telling them where to turn print, how to turn print. You should clearly let them know that violence is antithesis to good election. If a violence erupts, everybody, all the efforts you put in now will come to nothing.
Exactly.
So voters' education is very, very essential.
All right, it is a continuing conversation, definitely. Hakeem Odumosu, thank you so much for joining us. Former Assistant Inspector General of Police, retired. Thank you.
Thank you.